Have you ever looked at someone sitting quietly in a corner and just wondered, what's really going on in their head? We see quiet people all the time, right? But we rarely stop to think about why they're so silent. So let's dive into this because the answer is way more complex and honestly more fascinating than you might think.
And see, this is the central puzzle we're tackling. You could have two people, both quiet, both keeping to themselves, and on the surface, you'd think they're pretty much the same. But what's happening internally, their thoughts, their feelings, their entire emotional state could be from two different planets.
And this is the heart of it all. This simple distinction changes everything. One person is in a state of peaceful restoration. The other, they might be in a state of self-protection, recharging versus hiding. They're two totally different paths that just happen to lead to the same quiet destination. So let's unpack what that really means.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the introvert. Now, the most important thing to get straight is that this isn't about being shy or antisocial. Not at all. It's all about energy management. The emphasis on it being a personality style is so key. It's not a flaw, it's not something that needs to be fixed, it's just how some of us are wired. And that word energized is everything. For an introvert, solitude isn't draining. It's the exact opposite. It's their fuel source. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, it's about finding energy in the quiet. It's enjoying your own company with a good book. It's preferring those deeper one-on-one conversations over big, loud crowds. And of course, the classic example, leaving a party when your social battery is totally drained. It's not because they aren't having fun. It's just that their battery is empty and they need that quiet to plug back in and feel balanced again. All right, so that's the introvert. Now let's completely shift gears and look at the other side of this coin, which is something very, very different. We're talking about social withdrawal now, and this isn't a personality style. It's a reaction to the world around us. Notice the wording here, coping response. That's powerful. This isn't about recharging. It's about reacting to something difficult. It could be massive stress from work, deep anxiety, or maybe a recent embarrassment or feeling rejected. It's a retreat, yeah, but not for energy. It's for safety. And this is where you can really feel the internal difference. The silence here often comes after a negative event. It feels like putting up a shield. It's protection, not a preference. So while an introvert feels peaceful and happy when they're alone, someone who's withdrawn might still feel tense, worried, or just disconnected. The solitude isn't necessarily bringing them any relief.
Okay, so we've looked at both sides. We've got the introvert and the person who is withdrawn. Now let's put them side by side to really hammer home the core difference between these two internal worlds. Which brings us right back to our original question. You've got the same quiet behavior on the outside, so where does the path split? What is the one thing that truly separates the person who is recharging from the person who is hiding?
This chart just lays it all out perfectly. Look at the basis. Introversion is a personality style. It's part of who you are. Withdrawal is a coping response. It's something you do. And the motivation? An introvert chooses solitude to recharge. Someone who is withdrawn often feels pushed into it by their circumstances. And the outcome is the real kicker. The introvert feels refreshed, while the withdrawn person, well, they might still be carrying all that stress and anxiety with them, even in their solitude.
And look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. The key difference is choice. Is the person actively choosing solitude to restore themselves, or are they retreating because they feel hurt, anxious, or overwhelmed? That one little word, choice, changes the entire meaning of the silence. So this isn't just some interesting psychological fact. Understanding this distinction has real-world consequences for how we treat other people, and maybe even more importantly, how we understand ourselves. So how do we actually apply this? It really starts with two simple but pretty profound shifts in how we think. First, we stop jumping to conclusions about quiet people. And second, we start seeing silence for what it can be, either a preference for peace or a shield for protection. In the workplace, this means realizing the colleague who eats lunch alone isn't being rude. They might just be managing their energy for a productive afternoon. In our friendships, it helps us know when to give a friend some space, and when to maybe gently ask if everything's okay.
And this is why it matters so much on a personal level. It gives us this incredible lens to look at our own behavior. You can ask yourself, am I seeking quiet right now because it fuels me and brings me clarity? Or am I avoiding the world because I feel overwhelmed or anxious?
Being able to honestly answer that question is a huge step towards self-awareness. And, recognizing a pattern of withdrawal in yourself can be the first sign that maybe you need a little more support. And that's an incredibly powerful thing to realize.
So the next time you see someone sitting quietly, just remember this. It's the same silence on the outside, but it could be happening for completely different reasons on the inside. And knowing that difference, well, that changes everything.